It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And welcome to the realm of geekdom. This is Nerd Breaking News. It's 1999 all over again. We have a big market with probably the most tortured fan base in the New York Knicks versus the most blessed small market team with the generational talented big man, the San Antonio Spurs, for the NBA Finals Championship. Before we get into that, though, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that bell before you miss any of our episodes. So let's go ahead and jump right into this NBA Finals preview. We'll go straight with the Eagle, who is our NBA specialist. Go for it.
Well, nobody would have predicted this, right? Like the Knicks making it out of the East, and then the Spurs making it out of the West, and this is crazy to me. But you know what? I'm here for it. Two historic teams, two historic franchises. New York has been knocking on the door for the last 5 years, right? They made a lot of moves. They started investing a lot of money, the right pieces. I think what really turned it around for them was the GM, Leon. I forget his last name. He's just being, buying into the whole Villanova guys, the core, more defensive team, and obviously Jalen Brunson's offense. What made it click for them was getting Karl Anthony Towns from Minnesota, right? Getting rid of DiVincenzo and also Julius Randle. And they made it work. They have been killing the playoffs, albeit is the East. We know what it means. But, they're doing what they're supposed to do. You got to get lucky sometimes. And they're catching the Celtics on a weird year where Jason Tatum tried to come back. Maybe he shouldn't have, right? It wasn't the same Celtics. They traded or let go of Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and whatnot. It's just not the same championship team of 2 years ago. And then, Giannis was all over the place trying to get traded. So the East wasn't necessarily, in the best possible situation. It doesn't matter. New York took advantage. You have to be ready when the situations and the context, are allow you to, and they're here. So I'm all here for it. The Spurs, though, it's interesting because they beat OKC, and although they're missing one of their superstars, they had to grind, and they had to go to a Game 7. It wasn't easy. They also beat Ant-Man and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And although the first team that they beat in the Portland Trailblazers wasn't necessarily the best team, I think they lost the games to the Blazers. So, it's a young team, right? Wemby 22, Castle, I think, also around that age, and Harper, even younger, just drafted last year. And obviously, De'Aaron Fox, whatever that's worth. And they work hard. They're well coached, right? Popovich has been coming in, trying to steer the ship a little bit. And it just reminds you of, like, man, when you look at this team, they're well coached. And you go back into those dynasties that they had, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, obviously the big fundamental. It just reminds you of, like, man, when their sports get it together, they're a force to be reckoned with. So going to the main point, who's going to win it all? To me, it's complicated because I think that the Spurs are a little bit gassed. They've played more minutes than the Knicks, but the Knicks just basically destroyed the East, and it's props to them. They were an amazing team offensively and defensively. They were winning games by a big margin. This is hard for me because I was rooting for the Spurs on the West, but I really want Karl Anthony Towns and New York to get a ring. So instead of being more analytical, I'm gonna go with my feelings, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go with the New York Knicks. And it's gonna be in 6 or 7 games. The Spurs are not gonna go down without a fight. Wemby's motivated. He was crying when he received the MVP of the Western Conference Finals. The Spurs are a really good defensive team. but I think the New York Knicks have enough pieces. They're like a more put together team in terms of like, hey, we have offense, we have defense, we can do both. I think that, in terms of guarding Wemby, I think both Carl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson are going to be able to do the job. Again, it's 6 or 7 games. I could be wrong, and they take it the Spurs take it in 7. But I'm going to go with my feelings, and I'm going to go with New York.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit most of the points that I wanted to say as well. And we also have to look at what regular season was for them. New York Knicks went 3-2 versus San Antonio Spurs. And in fact, they won 124-113 in the NBA Cup championship, which is garbage. But the New York Knicks won it, right? And San Antonio had to come back. I think it was New Year's Eve to get that 2 wins for them. So this is going to be very competitive, where New York needs to figure out how to neutralize the perimeter attack of the San Antonio Spurs, be able to dominate the paint and keep Wemby out. And you need the superstars to show up. And then when we're looking at San Antonio, they got to keep that signature defense that they have. That has gotten them to the NBA Finals, honestly, right? They need to be able to figure out how to move the ball and score more efficiently than they've done before, especially with the percentage that Wemby had in the last series. Like, it's been really, really bad. So they need to settle down. Again, New York is well rested. They've had plenty of time to party, relax, enjoy themselves. Is this the positive? Is the negative? We'll have to see. And then the same thing, San Antonio, 7 games. Every game has been very emotional to the very end. Will this help them drive through the finals, or are they so drained that they're going to be out of it? I personally fall on the other side, where I believe that San Antonio will be the one. San Antonio will be the one that will be winning it at the end. But I think it's going to be the same thing. I think it's going to go into Game 7 before we're able to see an actual champion come out. Kid, you're the New York Knicks guy. Obviously, we know who you're going to be rooting for. What's your take on this?
All right, so I'm going to make it analytical and logical at the same time. So Spurs are favored to win tomorrow, Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Knicks are favored to lose the series overall. I'm going to go just individually. Who has the better point guard? Knicks. Who has the better, right? It's Brunson, and I'll go deeper into it, right? Brunson versus the Eagles' favorite player, his hero, his GOAT, the greatest player that ever lived in Kings history, De'Aaron Fox. Obviously, Jalen Brunson is the better player. Next, you have Castle versus Hart. I think that is Castle over Hart, as much as I love Hart. 3, small forward. Vassell from Florida State, go Noles, versus our guy, Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is better, clearly. 4, OG versus, who's the Spurs for?
Fournette?
Oh, the Champagne guy.
Oh, okay.
OG's better. Then you have Wemby beating Cat. So right now it's 3-2 Knicks. Now let's go to the bench. The bench point guard is Deuce McBride for the Knicks versus Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper's clearly better. 2, you have Keldon Johnson, the 6th man of the year, and then you have Jordan Clarkson. I say that's a toss-up. It could be either one of them. And then the last one, Mitchell Robinson versus Luke Cornett. Robinson's better. The Knicks have the better roster on starting 5. The Knicks have the better roster on the bench. They've won 11 straight games. They're on a roll. They're killing it. Even though it's the East, they have never seen a defensive team like the Spurs. I think also people are underestimating the idea that the Knicks are also a great defensive team. We also have the greatest Kings coach in history, Brown, to lead the way. Thank you, Kings, for giving us everything we need to win the championship.
Oh my God.
The city of Sacramento can do no wrong in New York. We're gonna add them.
Oh my God.
So the Knicks are gonna beat the Spurs. They already beat them from the A Cup, like TK said, the NBA Cup, which means nothing, but whatever. And they're gonna. My official pick is Knicks in 5. Jalen Brunson, NBA Finals MVP, top 10 point guard in history.
Wow.
Take it away, Professor.
I was talking trash earlier. The Knicks will probably win this series in 7 games. The reason why they'll win this series in 7 games is because tactically they make better choices than the Spurs do. when you're looking at the Spurs and you're looking at what the Knicks are good at, it's actually a matchup problem for the Spurs. What I mean by that is, one, the Spurs have a point guard problem. De'Aaron Fox is their only responsible point guard. But the thing is, when you're looking at him, I believe he's nursing an injury now, so his minutes are restricted. So that basically means that Stephon Castle is going to be holding the ball, right? But as we know, he has a turnover issue. And as we know, the Knicks are very, very good at creating turnovers. So you've got that issue. And that's going to be an issue that's going to plague them throughout the entire series. Mikal Bridges is just too talented. No, the Knicks have Alvarado too. They have every thief is on their team. That's bad for the Spurs when you're looking at it. I think Mikal Bridges is the ultimate X factor. The Spurs don't have anyone on their team, including Wembanyama, who can contain what he does. Because he's the improvement of Jimmy Butler, just younger. So when you're looking at it, like, he's a problem. And I think that this series is going to be his, I don't want to say come out party, but this series is going to be where people are really going to see and understand who that man is. There's that piece. On top of it, too, when the kid mentioned the Knicks roster, he failed to mention Mitchell Robinson.
I included him.
I don't think he did.
I said, yeah, Robinson versus Luke Cornett.
As powerful. Oh, my bad. I missed it. Anywho, he's going to be a problem for the Spurs too, because the thing with Mitchell Robinson is he comes across all kind of dopey and chill, but when that man locks in, he is a problem. And when he sees Wembanyama, I think Wembanyama's going to get punished in a way that he's not used to, because I haven't seen him scared of anybody all season long. And the thing is, on top of it too, while the Spurs have heart, I think the Knicks have mortality. The Knicks understand that this is it. So I think they're going to go in there, and they're going to go in there for blood. And towards the end, and I think part of the reason why every person from the East Coast now is suddenly a Knicks fan is because we saw it. We saw how throughout the playoffs, every single game, they got more aggressive. Those dudes want this bad. And I think they're just going to take it. And on top of it, too, I think we're also going to see the exploitation of Wembanyama's inefficiency from time to time. I think you're going to see him gassed out again. And I also think that you're going to see the Spurs get picked apart in their rotations, where when they had the non-Wembanyama minutes, the protection in the paint's not going to work. And the non-De'Aaron Fox minutes, the ball movement's not going to work. And when you're looking at Mike Brown, he's evolved as a coach so much that I think he's able to see all of that now. So I don't think it's going to be a 5-game series. I think it'll be a 7-game series. And it's going to be one of the most memorable NBA finals of our lifetimes.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere in an article that they were saying that this was the most watched NBA finals so far in like the last couple of years. So definitely the setup for this is good. And quite honestly, whoever ends up winning is going to be, in a sense, historic in its own way.
Absolutely.
New York, last time they won was in 73. Last time they showed up was in, 99?
Yeah.
Looking for their 3rd championship. Yep. San Antonio, they're slowly building this little mini dynasty that if they continue progressing in a positive direction, we're probably seeing a baby go. So, like, there's a lot of tie-ins of how historic this NBA Finals is going to be. Any final comments, concerns you guys want to bring up before we end this video?
It'll be great.
Yeah. Go Knicks. We're going to get our 3rd ring. We're going to tie in the Heat. MSG is going to be fired Game 3. Again, Miami, New York, and Sacramento have no idea what that is.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Let us know what you think. Do you think it's going to be the Knicks or the Spurs winning it out, and why? Let us know in the comments down below. But until then, keep your fandom alive and your war tribe engaged. Until next time, fellow nerds, this is Nerd Breaking News.